What's up, everybody on YouTube and in the Facebook group for ffbe Global? It's askanoldmog time, and with Clash of Wills going on, I'm actually seeing lots of comments and questions in the Facebook group about Clash of Wills and Clash of Wills units. You know, which ones are available, which ones are strong, who should I focus on? And so I thought it'd be a good time to talk about the Clash of Wills units, how you can acquire some of them for free with very little effort, and we know which ones are maybe not available but still worth investing in if you have some copies of them laying around. So that said, let's get into it. So we've got a couple questions here I wanted to bring out. The first one comes from Chris F. You know, can I get a list of some recommended Clash of Wills units? I want to see if I have any that are worth investing in. And then, you know, going along with that, you know, Matthew LT asks, TLDR, should I get Bohemia or Crestnick? So if you're not sure, you know, what some of these units are, I want to talk a little bit about them. But let's talk about Clash of Wills units in general to kind of get into, you know, what's good and what's not. So all Clash of Wills units are mainly going to be focused on units that have skills or abilities that scale off of the morale gauge. So they're going to get stronger based on how much morale you have, how far the bar is filled up. Most, but not all, of the morale units are actually available to be bought in the Obnixus Shards store right now. So if you competed in the last Clash of Wills event, the one against the Nyan Beast, and you have some Obnixus Shards, and you've then got some from the current one, you can probably get a couple of morale units there if you don't have them already. There are some exceptions to the ones that are in the store, though, and those are going to include Sky, Louise, White Dragon Ling, who was available for Obnixus drops on the last season with the Frost drops. White Dragon Ling was a good one to pick up. Alina, you can get Alina from 5-star select tickets, unit of choice tickets. You can get her from those, or she was given out a while ago for free, depending on if you were in the game. Lara Croft, Neovisions, not available right now, but if you have her, she's phenomenal. If you have her and you don't know about her, you need to be using her, okay? Carton, Full Moon Carton, yeah, Clash of Wills unit. He's very strong, very good. Divine Beast Chow was last Clash of Wills focus unit, so he's obviously a morale unit. Ibarra and Christine are units that are technically have some morale skills, but are not like super powerful in Clash of Wills, but they do have a morale scaling skill. And of course, Esther. I guess Oliveira is another one. I didn't really talk about Oliveira. I don't have a whole lot of experience with Oliveira, but he does have some stuff to do. And there are some others, but these are the ones you know, that you can't just get right now. You can get them with a ticket or a summon, of course. Some of them, anyways. But they're not just like readily available to you with Obnixus Shards. So to kind of change speed a little bit, I'm going to talk about the Obnixus Shards. Now, you get these from competing in Clash of Wills, and you can spend them in the shop. So I've got my cursor here. We're going to go down to the shop. We're going to go to Special Shop, and we're going to slide over until we get to Clash of Wills Obnixus Shop, Obnixus Drop Blaze Exchange. So I have 6,000 of these right now just from working on Clash of Wills. I'm not done with Clash of Wills level 99 yet, so I don't have all of the ones available that I could get, but I've got 6,000 right now. So you can kind of scroll through this list, and these are all of the player designed units, and they all have morale scaling skills. So to talk a little bit about, you know, which ones are good and which ones are not good, I made a little list here. I want to focus first on Crestnick. So Crestnick is a healer. He's right here. He's a healer, but he also does a lot of buffs and support for your party. One of his strongest abilities, his Magnus ability, imbues the party with light and the boss with light, and then you absorb damage from light or for one turn. And then for several more turns, you just the boss remains imbued with light, and as long as your resistance is high enough, you just don't take any damage from physical attacks. So if you really like the idea of being able to hit the boss with an imbue and then remaining immune to physical damage for like 5 or 6 turns, awesome. Crestnick is phenomenally good. He's also an extremely good morale filling battery. So if you're struggling to fill the morale gauge, Crestnick is going to help you with that. His base attack fills the limit burst gauge for the whole party. So if you set him up to be able to quad cast his base attack, you can fill the limit burst gauge for your whole party very easily. He's a very strong unit, and I would say if you don't have Crestnick, he's probably your top pick to grab here if you're trying to do well in Clash of Wills as well as do well in other content. He's just very, very strong. Some other choices. Cacteria is a very good breaker all around. She doesn't have the strongest breaks in the game, but she has the second strongest breaks in the game for every category, as well as just generally good breaks that are available on demand and like with like cooldown abilities with her limit burst. She's got Fist Imperil, which is very strong for like if you're using Carton or Avalanche Tifa. And she's also just recently in an update gotten the ability to cast Water and Earth Bolting Strike skills that are able to be triple cast, and they are based on your morale damage, your morale gauge. So if you're trying to like triple cast Water or triple cast Earth Bolting Strike using morale, like she's, you know, she can help contribute to the damage. It's not like phenomenal damage, but it's decent damage for what she is, especially once you get the morale gauge filled. So she's a possibility if you don't have a good breaker. If you already have Ling, you can probably skip her. Her breaks are technically stronger, but Ling does a lot of other stuff too. Cacteria can also Water and Earth Imbue for a very limited basis, but still pretty good. King Bohemia I put third. I don't really think that King Bohemia is a perfect choice to pick out of these because there are other better tanks for Neo Visions. In particular Maeve, but he is a very solid physical cover dodge tank with some party support and chaining. He also does counters that heal your MP. He does a morale fill every turn, just, you know, by default. So he can do a lot of good things, but Maeve is technically better, and even to an extent CoW is better for magic cover tank in particular. But CoW can also omni cover, so it lets you be kind of flexible. But if you need a tank, King Bohemia's here, but there are also some really good NVA tanks that you can just make with 5-star units, so maybe skip on King Bohemia. Bulwark, on the other hand, all the way at the bottom, really, really good, very good elemental support for 3 different elements. Dark, ice, and wind are the main ones. Does a lot of really good damage mitigations for your party, a bunch of really good killer buffs for your party, some morale fill, buffs, heals, lots of really good stuff. Can break the boss a little bit. Bulwark is a lot like White Dragon Ling, just different elements and killers. So if I had to pick, and if I didn't have any of these units and I wanted to spend my Obnixus Shards here, I would either pick Crestnick, Cacteria, or Bulwark. Just from my experience, you know, Crestnick's probably the most valuable. Bulwark and Cacteria are very good. I like King Bohemia. I just feel like there are better options for tanks. Now, another thing to think about that you can buy with the Obnixus Shards is this Reclaimed Serenity ability here. This is very, very good. Let me click on it here. This is 50% defense and spirit to the unit, and also that equips it, and also 60% resistance to ice, lightning, light, and dark. And that's all on one ability slot, and that's just very, very good. You're very seldom going to go against a fight, especially in like Clash of Wills, that is not using one of these elements. So like the current boss, the Exterminator, he uses lightning, so you know you could equip this and get 60%. The other elements are kind of being wasted. Yes, it's true, but some fights are going to have more than one of these going on at once. Last month, or the last one had Dark, Lightning, and Fire. So having Dark, Lightning, and Fire, Dark and Lightning on here we are. So this is a very good ability. I would definitely recommend you pick up at least one, if not both of these, just because they're so unique and they're very, very powerful and slot efficient. There they are. So there is, you know, kind of my breakdown of what's available using the Obnixus Shards and the Clash of Wills units. Of those others that are not available in the store right now, I'll bring those back up. So Sky is a very, very, very strong limit burst finisher for Clash of Wills. Her limit burst is based on morale damage. Very, very good. Louise can do really good chaining with a couple different chain families using the morale gauge. So pretty strong. Also a lot of good party support. White Dragon Ling does elemental support for fire and light, as well as killers for 4 different races. Very strong. Elena can do chaining in one form and a lot of support and morale fill in the other form. So very good. The rest of those are all kind of time limited, premium, or not available right now. So There it is. So if you have any of those units, I would say if you're interested in doing Clash of Wills, they're all good to invest in, but the best ones are probably Skye, Louise, Ling, Lara, Carton, and of course, new Neovision's Esther, who's very good at tanking in Clash of Wills and doing damage is kind of like a secondary thing. Probably better for Dark Visions as that comes along. So there's my feedback on the Clash of Wills units. Now we are also visited here by a very special guest, and that's Sharky, who made an appearance for Sharky Suggests. So come on up, Sharky. Sharky's opinion right now: don't skip the story event. It has lots of lapis to be earned, as well as a unique chaining ability that can be equipped on any unit that allows you to chain with Neovision's Esther and other units, several tickets, and unique gear. We haven't had a story event in a while, so don't miss this opportunity. Thank you very much, Sharky. Yeah, story events have been kind of rare lately for us, so I was really excited to get through it and grab all the lapis and all the stuff that we can get there. Got a lot of tickets, ended up getting some nice units off of the tickets, so definitely don't skip the story event if you haven't done it yet. It took me about an hour to go through it, and that was actually watching the story. So if you're skipping the story, you know, you can go through it very, very quickly, very little energy. I think it took me about half my energy bar, and it was super easy and very much so worth it. So that is really about it for right now. Hopefully that is some helpful information about the available Clash of Wills units that are in the game, as well as the ones you can get with your Obnixus Shards. If you have not done so yet, definitely go through and clear as high into Clash of Wills as you can to grab those Obnixus Shards. I just haven't done it yet, so I don't have all the ones that are available or the level 99 token yet. So I'm working on it. I just haven't had time to really sit and do it. But there's the feedback for today. If you've got a question that you want to see discussed in next week's video, please drop a comment. Feel free to like and subscribe so it can push some of these videos to the top for newer players to see them. We're really trying to grow and make this stuff available for anybody who's interested in it, so that really helps if you can do that. And we'll see you next week. Hope you have a pleasant evening and a pleasant weekend, and have a good night. Bye-bye.